How you're doing, Ralfy here, Ralfy Customs. We're back on our Carl's Inex Sportster. Going to make a swing arm. First things first, let's consult the oracle. Here's my sketch of the pillbox adjusters, and we're going to make them 100mm long, so they'll be the longer ones. I want to give our car a bit more adjustment, and we need to get the materials cut out. So we need 50x10 flat, 2 bits at 100mm squared up on the mill, 25x5 flat to fill in the gaps. We've got 4 bits at 35mm. That 25 needs to be 50x5 to fill the extra 25mm gap. Then we'll do 50x5 tube. It might not be 5 now, we might be using a slightly thinner tube, but we need 2 bits of 50mm tube, 35mm long, and so on and so forth. Slot to suit the axle, which I think is 25. We're going to check that out in a minute, and then we need to make some, we're going to go M8 on the adjusters, so we need to make some adjuster chats, little modules that weld into the sides here where that hole goes, that big hole, and then we're going to go M6 for the grub screws that hold the covers on, and there's a little note of what we need for the covers. So I'll get the materials cut, and then we'll get over to the milling machine, get the slots cut, and so on and so forth. So we're off, look, cutting the flat with a trusty bandsaw, a bit of lube, because that's what separates us from the animals. So we'll get a cutlass cut out on the bandsaw, and then the milling machine and lathe come into play to square up and get everything just right. So we've cut the thick flat, we've cut the tube, we're just putting for the covers and the inserts that join up the two ends. All will become apparent, or if you've seen me do this before, you'll know where I'm going. I wasn't going to film this process, making the pillbox adjusters, because I filmed so many, but I've had a lot of positive feedback from people saying that they like me seeing me doing this kind of thing, so here we are. Righto, that's the body of them then, cut out and in kit form. We just need to make it all the right size and shape and stick it together, don't we? So we'll go over to the lathe now, and we'll face these off to 35mm long. We're there. So these both need to be faced off, 35mm long. And then we need to split them in half over on the saw. Right, with that chucked up, with one of those chucked up, we've touched our tool off on this front face of the chuck. A lot of chucks in this, isn't there? And zeroed a readout, and then we can move out to 35mm. Yeah, and that'll give us the length that we need for this part that we're about to do. You can see I've cut them plenty along because my little saw cuts them plenty fucking wonky. Right, so what we can do is spin that up, and then take a light cut, and I just want to see that we've got enough length once I've got this faced off. So here we go, it's nice and faced off. Just break that edge, take the burr off, and spin it around in the chuck. Like fucking so, pressing it hard against that face. Yeah, because we want to get a semi-accurate reading at 35mm. So we come back with a tool, and 35mm is, come on, it's there. So we'll just come out of it, and then we'll send it like fucking so. and then go to 35 and send it again, which is there, look. So that is now 35mm long. We'll get the other one done. Come out there. We'll get the other one done, and then we'll split them in half on the old bandsaw, ready to weld on the ends of the plates. Righto, so we're on to the milling machine. We've got the 10mm flat clamped in the vise on a couple of parallels. We've got a 7/16 4-flute cutter running at 910 ripams, and we're just going to reach around here and give you a love tap. We're just going to touch on there. Yeah, give it a clean up. A little bit more, give it a little bit more, I think. Let's see where that takes us. Let's dab a lube. We just want to clean this end up, we just want to square it off. So we're not fussed about length at the minute. And we go and put the spring pass back. And we're not bad, matter of fact, we're not bad. We could go a little bit more. There we go. So, just like on the lathe, we'll have that out. We'll have that out. Yeah, let's see about burrs. Hold on. We'll have that fucker out. Make sure there's no shit anywhere. Flip it. Flip it, fuck me. Hey, it's one of them mornings. Get it back in there. And then do the same to get it through this side. And then we can take a measurement, can't we? So, just wind into it. Like so. Lock off my bed. Dab a lube. And away she goes, Captain. Once we get this head nice and straight and true, we'll have a measure, and then we'll trim the end off to length, so it's not quite fucking true. No, it's not bad. No, that's alright. Good enough for a measure. So, we're at 101.07, sorry, 101.07, so we can come along half a mil. Yeah, 20 thou. Do a 20 thou cut. In fact, we'll go 3/4 of a mil, fuck it. Which is just there, according to the DRO. A bit of a chatterer, boys. We'll get all the way to the end with this, and then we'll dial in the last 1/4 of a mil, the last 10 thou. And we'll take a spin pass at that, and then we'll be to length, won't we? So that'll be nice and fucking true. So here we go. That's it. There, 1 mil, and send it. Lovely, lovely. There we go. So that should now be 100 mil long and ready to slot up. Well, weld to its mate and slot up. I'll get the other one done off camera. Get them tacked together, and then we'll look at putting the slot in. Right, with them tacked together and a quick flash over on the belt sander, we've marked the centre line with the right gauge. We need to find the size of the spindola. I had a feeling there were 25 mil, but it's 25 mil is a tad loose. And I've got a bit of inch EN8 here, and that's a bit fucking tight. I'm going to have a measure. I'm going to measure the bearing with my snap gauges, and I'm going to measure this. I'm just trying it rough like. So 25's too loose, an inch seems a bit tight, but I'll measure that stock first, and then I'll measure the hole.
Don't forget, folks, our Fuck Stock stickers are now available in our Etsy store Link in the description below. Fuck stock, you know it makes sense.
Right, it turns out this is 6 thou oversized, and that is fucking very slightly undersized, but the old 1-inch bearings, there's a part number on there and everything. Standard 1-inch bearings, this ain't having it like. But if I make, fuck off, that's got stuck now. It ain't having it, it's gone, there you go. If I make the slots in the axle plates 1 inch, 25.4, we'll be fucking happy days, I reckon. So that's what we'll go on. Right, that's that marked out. We know we're 25mm. We'll come 25mm from the end, will give us a 50mm slot. So I don't need to mark it out. I can do it all with a digital readout. I can center the part and then come in 25 and then go 50. Happy days. But I do that for sanity check because I'm always a bit fucking sketchy when I'm doing slots. There's nothing wrong with my slot work, I'll just say, but those of you regular readers will remember these fucking things that I've binned, even though there's nothing wrong with them. There you go. Anyway, the method is centre on that hole, and then chuck one out in the middle. And we're going to use the old fucking rotor broach bit because these cut fucking lovely. That's 24 and we want 25.4. So that'll give us 0.7 of a millimetre to take out each side, which we'll do with this 4-flute 18mm end mill. Sorted. So I'll get that set up. I'll use my wibbly wobbler to catch the end in the middle and all that, and double check my marks, and then we'll get some fucking holes made in it. So here we go, we've got it in there, we've got it centred on the part. We've found that hole, well, we found that hole and moved along 50 to have a sanity check, look. And we're bang on that hole. So we can plunge that rotary bit in, motor bit. Do you know, I always forget what they're fucking called. What's that all about? Rotor broach bits. Yeah, we can plunge that 24mm rotor broach bit. I do like a good plunge. We can have that in there at that, and then 50, and then we'll do one in the middle at 25 and go from there. Righto, so we've slowed the old girl down to 535, which the internet tells me is an happy speed for this annular cutter. We've got everything locked off and zeroed on that. And we're just going to hand feed it through. Now, my only, not even a worry, the only problem I foresee is if that centre plug that you've just spied don't drop out. If it gets stuck in the fucking cutter, that won't be the best of days. But no big deal, we'll just have to get the tool out. There you go, once it's got stuck. So, let's see if we can clear that fucker out of his bread off. Nail it. I'll get a scribe and try and pick that out. I'll get a pick. Bear with. Yeah, there you go, look, straight out. The problem is that starts spinning then. Starts wheezy-wazzy whirring round and it stops this from cutting. So, crisis averted. And we're through halfway now, so we're just steady away, carry on. Get this all punched out. Then we move along, like I say, 50mm. We'll do the other one and then we'll stick one in the centre. It's just going to look like I'm doing this, so you can join me when those 3 holes are annular cutted. See, now we're getting posh now, we know what they're fucking called, look. Annular cutted through. Yeah, there we go, happy days. See if that'll fucking, oh, what is it? Fucking hot. Right, that's those 3 holes drilled. Now, normally I'd swap out now to end mill and I'd plunge, because I'm such a fan of the plunge, I'd plunge cut the bits out from between the holes. But these annular cutters are fucking bob on for it. So my plan is to use it to chip away like this. Bit looby-dooby. Probably running a bit quick for this, but it'll be alright. And it'll save on the milling cutter, look at that, that's lovely. So we've just trimmed that off, 12.5 we've gone, so dead centre between those 2 holes. A bit of looby-dooby. And then she blows taps in with hopefully minimum deflection. I know you can't use them like an end mill, you can't side mill with these bits like that. They're only good for going through. Let's go 6.5 now. Look. Let's just move this fucking bed. 6. Come on. Which is there. We'll take that next bit out. Just that little divot off, look. Save your time with the milling cutter, you see. That's what that'll do. And then we'll whiz along to the gap between the others, which is 18 and a bit, 19 we'll call it, which is there. So on and so forth. Look at that lovely job left. So that'll be that all roughed out, and then we can get in with the milling cutter and start cleaning it up. Righto, so with that changed over to the end mill, you can just poke that through a bit, want the quill off. Now we should be able to wind this way 3mm. The difference in the tool size, we had a 24mm annular cutter and we've gone to an 18mm 4 flute end mill, so the difference is 6mm. So we divide that by 2 and we pull it this way and we shove it that way 3mm each time. And we should have about touch on that back wall. That's what I reckon. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to wind this out 3mm, which is there. Hold on. Come on, you bastard. Lock that off, and then I'm going to fucking send it. There's a bit more than that. So we'll go around once just to clean it up. So now we can go 3mm the other way. 2 minutes there, Ralph. Don't matter, it's only roughing out still. Send it that way. And so on and so forth until we have a nice clean hole, which should be about 24mm. Right, so we've ended up going 3.3 to get it clean, and that's not too shabby. So all I'll do is work my way around, going 3.3 off centre in each direction. Like fucking so. And now we're on 3.3 this way. 3.3 is there. Cover loop. And send it. Then we can have a measure. We'll see how small it is. Divide that by 2 and stick it onto 3.3. That makes sense. We're now back to centre, which is coming up there. So we'll have a measure, see where we're at, see how much more we need to cut out. Righto. So we've had a measure, we've worked everything out, and we need to go to 3.865 either way off centre. So we were on 3.3, weren't we? Excuse my eating. So I'm going to go 3.5, I think. Damn it. Which is there, a bit of a squealer. And we'll send that, and then we'll do a back pass. And it takes off that extra few thou, right? I reckon. Bit of a clean up pass. And nice and steady away. To the end, and now we'll take that extra to 3.8. Sorry, my bad. I'll come back. Bear with, hold on. Well, that was nearly a bozo moment, wasn't it? So at least it would have been too small and not too big. And now we get 3.865. Which is there. Bang on there. Another job lead, and away she goes, that's it. Now we just go along steady away, just using the hand feed, and then we'll do a spring pass return, do the same on the other side, and the chops of fish. That's that slot cut. I have got a bit of inch bar I can use as a tester, just to be doubly sure. But there's no reason that that won't be bob on. Okie dokie, so yeah, I didn't bother filming every fucking second of it, but that slot is now cut. It's hot. This is warm, so I'm just showing you really badly that this inch diameter EN8 fits through nicely. What I'm going to do now is profile these ends round to take these that I need to actually split in half, but not yet, because they're going to form the body of it. Like what I've done in the past is put a good radius on here and then welded it on there and ground it off and then ground that weld out and welded it again, and fucking hell, it's a pain in the arse. So I'm going to do it on the milling machine. I'm not going to set up my radius table to cut this, you know, it's not an exact, we've got good tolerances here. I'm going to do it another way. I'm going to use a bit of a cheat. I'm just waiting for that to cool down because it's fucking hot. I've took the welds off the ends after welding down the sides, just a couple of quick and dirty tacks just to hold them together so they're both the same shape, and I can machine them both at the same time. Okay, let it cool down. I'll have a brew, let it cool down, and I'll show you the setup. Right, here's the setup. Look, we've got that 25mm. I probably won't use this. I'll probably cut something a bit smaller. Sorry, 1 inch bar through the 1 inch slot, and this is all smooth and flat and level. Then we've touched on this face, which is parallel to the jaws, locked off the quill. And because I know the distance between the end of the slot and there and the inside of the slot and the top is about 1 mil bigger this side, absolutely fine. That 0.5 mil each side is well within tolerances for the end cap that's going to fit. So I'm not bothered about that. But I've dropped the knee by 1 mil. Yeah. So now what I can do is wind that out of the way, and then I'm going to struggle to show you one-handed, but literally, yeah, I can cock it up like that and machine that off. You with me? So I can machine it, turn it, and facet it. Same with this end. If I don't alter the quill and I don't alter the knee, then that cut's always going to be good for getting around there. I can get all the way to there, flat there. Then it leaves the end to do, which we do by dropping it over the side of the jaws. And it's a nice, easy way of roughing out a radius without too much fucking about. We don't want it past level though. Otherwise we'll be biting into the back. So we're going to go there, tighten and machine. I'll get you on a tripod and show you what I mean. Alright guys, let's hope you can fucking see. And here, so we've cut that down a bit. This is it holding it in position. We can take that out, look, and then we can jolly well slice through that corner there. A little roughing bit. Move on a bit. Maybe one last time. There we go. So then what we can do is whack that back through there, look. And then drop that down a bit. And go again. So drop that down a bit, go again. So now we take that point off. Like so. There we go, like that. Same again, clear the chips out of the way. Put that through there, hold it down tight, rotate it a bit. A little bit more maybe. Just come off the end there. Happy day. Happy fucking days. And we literally just walk our way around. And we can be as rough or as precise as we want to be. You know? We could do it in 4, it wouldn't really matter. because we're going to finish it with a sander or whatever, you know. It's going to be welded and fucking cleaned up, so it just gives us a quick and easy way to form a radius on a part without going to the trouble of setting up the rotary cable. Happy days. Right, that is literally all of that work round pretty much. I mean, it's got a flatty bit on there. So what you can do now is kind of do a bit of this action, hanging off the end action, and we've got a facet there. So we'll kind of line that up on the up and down there. Come on. About there, and then tighten that off. Then we can bring the tool down to touch on there, and instead of having it at the set, we've got it at the set. Excuse me, my voice is going. We've got it at the set position now. So we'll just take a slice, and then angle this a bit, take a slice, and so on and so forth, just to take that off should we want to. I probably won't with that because it's not too shallow. So, it's a quick and dirty way to form a radius, easier than grinding. You can work away and take every one of them facets off if you want to, you know. You can be really particular with it, but I don't think we ever need to at this stage. And so there we go, look. I don't know why I've left that fucking running noises in. Just a couple of minutes spent on the belt sander gets us a very nice weldable profile there for, well, 5 minutes on there and 5 minutes on there, like, maybe a bit less. So we'll do the same with the other end, and then we're looking at splitting these and getting them tigged in place, haven't we? Sorted. Right, they put up a struggle being fucking separated, I don't mind telling you. Hey, no Kramer versus Kramer going on here. Right. So, with those profiled and cleaned, that's the inside plates to the axle plates. Yeah. And they have these splitting off on the ends to cap them. So, I'll go over to the bandsaw. If I can find the other fucker. I don't know where I've put it. I'll go over to the bandsaw when I find the other one of these, and we'll look at splitting them in half. Like so, look, they sit lovely in the gap between the bed and that doodah, the other side of it, like on the doodah with it doohickey, and that means that we can drop the blade down and just cut straight through this side, let it fall, well not fall, but lower it down and cut the other side. From this moment on, I do like to pair them, so I will mark A and B on the inside of the two halves respectively, just so I don't get them mixed up like. Not going to take long, give it a quick squib. And that's the two end caps ready to weld onto those plates that we've just machined up. Any minute now that should go through. Come on you fucker, here we go. Boosh, sorted. Right, and here's a setup for welding them on. Because they spring out a bit, if you notice when I cut them in the bandsaw, we give them a little squash up in the vice like until they just fit the sides nice, which is just perfect. And then we go in with a square and get them level on the end and put the old third hand on, and we'll give them a weld, a couple of tacks with a TIG welder, do the same the other end, and then look at the filling in pieces, which are these. So they're going to go in there, something along those lines. Yeah, so that's next on the agenda. Well, there you go, that's a good start. Again, reviewing the footage, I'm on my half hour, which I like to clip it at, so this is going to be a two-parter. Comment below how you feel about longer videos. I think half hour is pretty fucking peachy myself. There you go. It just leaves me as always to say, follow along. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up and a sub if you like what you see. Check out all the bump in the description below, and you can see how I finish these on the next one. And sorry for the wobbly camera. See you later, everyone. Big love. See you soon.